Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. Today in this video, I'm gonna go over all the markings that you're gonna find on a typical set of tires. Now behind me, I've got my second set of wheels and tires that I have from my Honda Accord, and I'm gonna go over the numbers that you're gonna find in the sidewall. I'm gonna go over what they mean and how they're different from tire to tire. So right here, I have my front wheel for my Honda Accord. Now I'm running a staggered setup, so these aftermarket wheels and tires are different sizes from front to back. However, the numbers and markings on the side are slightly different, but they all have the same meaning. So the first number right here is 225. And that number right there is the section width of the tire. So 225 represents the width from here to here in the millimeters. So it's 225 millimeters across. Now the second number that we're looking at after the first one is 40. And this is the aspect ratio or profile of the tire. So 40 right here represents the size of the sidewall right here. And this is 40% of 225 millimeters. So if we wanted to calculate the size of the tire profile right here, you would first grab 225, put in your calculator, and you're gonna multiply that by 0.4 because this is a percentage. So 40. So this sidewall is approximately 90 millimeters in size. Now if you move down, you'll see the letter R, and this means that this is a radial ply tire. The R represents the basic ply construction of the tire. Now this letter can be R for radial construction, B for belted bias construction, or D for bias ply, and that means the plies are set diagonally or on a slant, and that's the plies of the tire. So think of it like the skeleton, if it's laid up straight or if it's laid up on an angle, 90 degrees or whatever. Now finally we have this number right here, 19, and this represents the rim size that this tire is made for. So this tire is made for a 19-inch rim, and if this was 18, this inside diameter will be smaller and be made for an 18-inch. The same thing goes for 20, 17, or whatever number. Now if we move down to 93Y, you can see that this character right here, depicts the load index, and the letter right there is the speed rating. So 93, say this tire can withstand, say, 1,000 pounds or 2,000 pounds. That's what this number is. And Y is the speed rating. So this tire right here, because it's a Y, it's rated for 300 kilometers per hour, and it can withstand any impacts, bumps, or even the speed generated from going that fast. Extra load doesn't really mean anything. We're gonna slide down a little bit. You can see that this is a radial tire. And if we move down a little bit more, it's a tubeless tire. Now tires back in the day, they used to have tubes inside of them that pushed out on the tire, and that's what gave it the pressure. Nowadays, the tire right here has a bead that sits on the rim on the inside, and that right there is what holds the tire onto the rim. So when you inflate it, the side of the tire is basically being pushed out towards the rim, and that's what makes the seal. So if we move the tire around, we can find some more markings found at the top of the tire. Now if we look at the first one, we're gonna see this one right here, and this one says tread wear 340. So this right here indicates the grade wear that's based on the tire's wear rate when tested under controlled conditions on a specified government test track. So a tread wear with a listed number that ranges between 100 and 500 is gonna be right here. Now if you go to the more competition or off-road tires, you're gonna find numbers even lower than 100, such as my Michelins that I have mounted on my RPF ones, and those are an 80 tread wear. So the lower of a number right here means the less expected. So the lower of a number right here, what am I trying to say? So generally speaking, the higher the number, the longer the tire will last you. So it usually means it's a much harder compound, the higher the number this is. So if you go with a very low compound, like a soft compound, this number is gonna be very low. Something like 80, 60, 40, or even less than that when you get into the race tires. Now if we move down, we can see that we have the word traction right here, and stamped on here we have the letters AA. Now this right here is the tire traction rating that's based on a tire's ability to stop on wet concrete and asphalt. It's not an indication of how well a tire will handle. The traction rating is given as AA, A, B, or C. So a tire that's rated C will provide less traction than one that's rated A, or AA in this instance. Next up, we have the word temperature right here, and this is the temperature resistance. This rating is an indication of how well a tire will dissipate heat and how it works when heated. So temperature resistance rating is given as A, B, or C. A rating of C means that the tire is acceptable. A tire with an A temperature rating will be able to withstand high temperatures much better than one that's rated B or C. Now you might find some other additional readings on here, such as M and S, which is rated for mud and snow. You might see some DOT numbers right here, meaning that this is safetied and approved by the Department of Transportation. You might find some markings here for serial numbers and everything. And if we move down to here, we're gonna find out which week of the year that this is made. So this tire right here that we've got on the car was made on the 21st week of 2015. Now I just moved the tire a little bit more, and you can see that there's more markings found right here. Now the maximum inflation for this tire is 51 PSI. Now this is not the tire pressure that you should be putting in this tire when you're driving. To find out what you actually need in your vehicle, you're gonna find that on the tire placard inside your door panel or even in your owner's manual. Now last but not least, we have the max load right here. And if you remember earlier, there was a marking down found on the top of the tire regarding what the load index for the tire is. It's similar to this. Now the max load is 650 kilos per tire. Now if you move down a little bit more, you can see the construction of the tire. And on the sidewall, it's a 2-ply polyester composition. And on the tread, we have 5 plies. We have 1 of them that's polyester, 2 that are steel, and we have 2 more that are polyamide. So to find out what tire pressure and tire specifications you need for your car, if you open up the driver's side door, you should find a sticker that's very similar to this. Now on here, you're gonna have all the information that you need for your specific vehicle. So it's gonna tell you the OEM tire size that came with the car, it's gonna show you the tire pressure that you need for the car, and all of these calculations have been taken into consider when the engineers were designing the car. So they take into consideration the weight distribution, the fact that the car is front wheel drive, not rear wheel drive, the size of the tire, the profile, everything. So in the next video, I'm gonna go over wheels, and for this entire week, I'm gonna be going over tires, wheels, balancing, rotating, and everything you need to know regarding your wheel set. Now, it doesn't matter if you're gonna be going from stock to aftermarket, or if you're going from a lighter to a heavier wheel and tire setup. I'll be going over all that information this week, so stay tuned. Damn it.